Hey guys, welcome to TechWhip. In this video, we're going to be looking at top 10 product manager interview questions asked across top tech startups like Meesho, Swiggy, Zerodha, Flipkart. Just a quick note before I jump into each of these questions. Solutions for a lot of these examples that I'm going to be talking about have already been answered in some of my videos. So if you're interested to know the approach, feel free to check out the playlist in the description. Alright, let's get started. Number 1, product execution or RCA questions. An example would be you're a PM of Flipkart and revenue has fallen by 30%. How would you go about this? The goal here is structure to understand if you can look at all angles, if you can break the problem and look at every problem in isolation. An example approach here would be you start by asking questions, isolate whether the revenue has fallen in a specific category, region, or product, know who the impacted users are, understand where the drop has happened, is it on website or mobile devices? If it's on mobile devices, is there an issue with an operating system? Then look at the user funnel from discovery to checkout. Where are the drop-offs happening? The reason why you should check for drop-offs is because it will help you isolate the problem. So if the users are dropping off on the discovery, or if the keyword search for that specific product or category has fallen, then maybe external issues are involved. But if the drop-offs are happening on the payment page, you know that 30% of the users are not able to pay for your product, maybe because there is an issue with a specific payment method. This is why you need to visualize the user funnel so that you can isolate and attack the problem. Ensure that you look at all scenarios in this specific case. Number 2, estimation or market sizing. An example would be estimate the market size of doggy diapers in India. And the goal here is to reach a high level number, not the final number. This is similar to Guesstimates, but in Guesstimates, you're looking at a number. In this specific case, you're looking at the size of the market, which is the revenue potential in that market. Again, the goal is just to reach the high level number, and the major focus is on the structure, the way you structure the problem. An example approach for this would be you guesstimate the number of dog owners, price your diapers depending on the personas of these dog owners, then calculate the revenue by multiplying price and the number of these dog owners, and then also, if possible, talk about the go-to-market strategy for this specific product. Number 3, favorite or bad product question. If you've been in a product management interview, you likely encountered this question where the interviewer will ask you about your favorite question and then go ahead and ask you how would you improve that specific product. The improvement is most likely going to be either on the adoption or revenue or user experience. Again, the goal here is to have a structure. You start by asking questions, you look at the users, their pain points, you prioritize these pain points, then talk about solutions. So 80% of your time should be in the problem and 20% should be in the solution. Finally, you also talk about certain important metrics for this. Personal advice, the interviewer may sometimes also ask you bad product. So ensure while you're preparing for your 3 good products, also prepare for your 3 bad experience products with an approach on how you'd go about improving each of these. Number 4, analytical and metric based questions. The goal of the interview here is to understand if you know which are the right metrics to track. An example question here would be how would you measure the success of an API product? While there are a bunch of metrics, there will typically be one North Star metric and a bunch of secondary metrics that your team will be tracking. These North Star metrics would either be user adoption or revenue or performance. The secondary metrics would be the usage of a feature, sub-feature, etc. To take our example, understand what the API product is. Is this solving an internal problem or an external problem? If it's an internal problem, the metric would be usage, while if it's an external problem, the metric would be adoption or revenue. Number 5, guesstimate questions. Example would be estimate the number of teacups consumed in Mumbai. The goal here is the structure of your solution. Ask relevant questions. For example, should we guesstimate the tea consumed outside the house or both internal and external consumption? Look at either the demand side or the supply side approach. Take total population, structure by users, look at the frequency of consumption, and then come to a high level number. Again, the importance here is on the structure. Number 6, analytical adoption testing. These questions are rarely asked but can leave you off guard if you're not prepared. What the interviewer will do is he'll share details for 2 or 3 cohorts or user groups, and then your job will be to look at the data, figure out which cohort is performing better and why. This is purely analytical, and it's important that you're prepared for questions like these as well. Number 7, new market entry. Example would be should Zerodha become a social media platform? Goal here, if the interviewer can have a logical conversation. If this is a technical round and a PM is interviewing you, it's likely that this person will be working very closely with you. Ensure that you're asking right questions, and when you're suggesting an approach, keep the company vision and mission in mind. In our example, talk about how Zerodha has a huge community of investors, and the goal of Zerodha is to help these members build an answer around what the company does. Note that most of the times the interviewer will ask you about the product that you're already aware of. Number 8, technical questions. Example, how would you monetize our internal machine learning model that extracts text from images? What the interviewer is trying to figure out is how comfortable you are speaking to tech team and how well you to understand how technical systems work. They may also ask you about APIs, SDK, data transmission, SQL queries. I'm adding a link to 7 technical questions that you should expect in the description, so check those out. If you're going into a PM interview, ensure that you have some tech know-how. Number 9, product design or product sense questions. These are open-ended questions. For example, design fridge for dogs, or maybe redesign school journey for kids. The goal of these questions is definitely to catch you off guard, but what the interviewer is trying to figure out is how you break down a complex problem like these into a well-defined product structure. So the approach would still be to ask questions, figure out the users, figure out their pain points, prioritize these pain points, and then list down the solution and track how you know if the product succeeded. Then finally, hygiene questions. Ensure that you have basic understanding of product management, business. They will definitely ask you why should we hire you as a product manager, so ensure that you have an answer ready for this. Know how the user flow of the app or website that you're applying for looks like. Know the current set of pain points. Build a list of suggestions you'd want to recommend to the PM or the person who's interviewing you. Know how the product is currently making money and the type of avenues that you can explore in order to make and deliver more value via the product. Know who the users are of the product, know their pain points, and finally the important set of metrics for the product. Now these are 10 most common product management interview questions. Again, I've added a link to the playlist in the description. Check it out if you're interested. I hope this video was helpful. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. But if you like this video, consider subscribing to the channel, dropping a like on this video, share this across with a friend, and I'll see you in the next one.